And then I'm directly live on.
Is there anything I should be sharing on my? I mean, I shared the links that I saw, like stuff. But is there something like a link now I should put on there or anything?
Other than the YouTube link that I sent to you,
Oh, right.
that they can live tap in and actually see
Okay,
us.
got it.
Other than that, that's it.
Awesome.
'Cause I'm about to share this link right now. But actually, my boss, my executive chef, she's like, "What's the link? I'm gonna tap in and support."
Well, can you? Okay, is it the one that says? Let me click it. And
Yeah, already I'm about to play this song.
Yeah, go ahead. So we probably live on camera right now.
Can you send me the link?
Yeah, I got you. So Be About the Clips is the first. If you put the headphones on, you can hear it right now. That's what's playing on the actual internet radio station, Big Time Radio Network, heard around the world. So Be It by the Clips. Yeah, I'm about to send it to you now. And if you look right here to the screen, you can see it, all of us on the screen. This is what it looks like on YouTube right now. There you go, I just sent it to you.
Y'all tuning in, YouTube, what's up? It's IB. Y'all get the behind the scenes of all the official introduction. We live, we got a couple guests in the studio today. So we appreciate y'all tuning in on YouTube. Y'all my people on TikTok, y'all tuning in. What's up with you? I'm live right now, so tap the screen, let me know you out there. Interact with me. You know what I'm saying? Tap the screen, keep it rocking for me. But we live, we on the Born Hustla Radio Show. What's up with you? I need you to moderate.
Man, they killing me. Everybody want me to send them the link. Like, that's really making me work today. Boy. It's about to work.
Yo. So what we doing today? It's that time. It's Monday. You already know what it is. It's June the 23rd. And we getting into it today. Already, it's Born Hustla Radio. Another Monday we here. Appreciate y'all tuning in. Got a special show today. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna get into it in a little bit. We got some special guests in the building with us, and we're gonna make the introductions in a second. This your man LB.
And your man Olos.
And this is the Born Hustla Radio. We got some special guests in the building. We got our health and wellness portion, and that's gonna come up in a little bit. You know, we be trying to keep it right. Now, I'm supposed to act accordingly because we got guests today.
But before you get into that, the first thing I want to say to everybody out there, I hope that you are staying cool because it is a hot one.
You finished?
Yeah, that was it.
Oh,
That's all I was
yeah. I'm
gonna say.
supposed to act accordingly today. So today we gonna keep it. Nah, fuck that. We gonna get into it today a little bit.
Go ahead. What you get into? I'm here
But
for
we got this segment that we really gonna jump into. So everybody that's tuning in on TikTok, YouTube, all the stations, everybody that's tuning in, we need y'all to tune in because health is wealth, and y'all need this. So we gonna share the information on with y'all. You know what I'm saying? But
Yo,
yeah, we gonna keep it. We gonna keep it kind of, you know. We ain't gonna get too live, you know.
okay, you dehydrated.
You know, we probably, you know, what's going on in the world today. There's a whole lot going on. They still riding. I don't think they fixed the water in Flint yet. Yeah, they out there riding and going ham. You know, still out there in LA. And our latest news, you know, we're gonna get into that too in our politics as usual segment, but you know, we can get into it. Shout out to OKC. You know what I'm saying? I'm just chilling. Shout out to OKC.
For y'all on TikTok, that's
You know what I'm saying?
It's Matt.
They won the championship last night, so we ain't gonna trip off of that. A lot of y'all thought y'all was gonna get that bag with the Pacers, but you know how it go. Underdogs, they ain't prevail. You know what I'm saying? So salute to OKC for that.
Yeah, shout out to OKC. Sorry, I disrespected the NBA championship. I had all intentions on watching it, but unfortunately, I'm in the 40 club now. And you know what I did? I went to sleep. And I slept well, though. But I didn't see it. I think I saw maybe part of the first quarter, and that's all. The rest was the back of my eyelids.
Taking care of that body.
Yeah, the body know when it's time to rest.
Yes.
Yeah, I hear this nice little instrumental in the back. That's the wrong by Joy somebody. That's fucked up. I can't get his last name.
Please forgive him.
Yeah, Joe. I'm a whole artist and I just messed.
Don't take it personally.
That is Joey Picario. The wrong that y'all hear in the background. That's Joey Picario. I really do apologize for missing the artist name because I'm an artist myself. But I did just like I was just like fuck it, I couldn't remember his name. Yo, tripping, man.
So, how you feeling about this Iran?
We ain't gonna get there.
Oh, we ain't gonna go there.
Nah.
All right.
This weekend, yeah, we're gonna get there. We're gonna get there. Politics as usual.
All right, for sure.
You know what I'm saying? I had to do a job. I gotta tell a story about my job I had to do Saturday.
Right.
So my job, I manage artists and everything. So we had a show at this spot here in our city.
You ain't gonna give a shout out to the name of the spot?
No, not yet.
Okay.
So we were doing a show. Because it's for two reasons. Let me tell the story.
No, I know. I'm gonna let you tell the story. I know.
what I'm
I know
saying?
it's a good reason why you didn't
It's
go.
no disrespect to the establishment because I'm gonna shout them out in a minute. You know what I'm saying? But nonetheless, my job was to be the manager. My artist was supposed to, with my artists, plural. We had a gig, so you know we did it out of kindness of our heart, you know, because we wanted to do it and we needed to do something anyway in the city. And we was trying to look out. You know how one hand washed the other.
Absolutely.
But this particular time, one hand did not wash the other.
Don't you hate it when that happens?
And it happened unexpectedly. See, this is my issue with that. And it fucks me up. Because I'm going to do my job regardless to the best and fullest. And I did my job. I felt like I did my job. But the unprofessionalism of how this shit went down, it left a bad taste in my mouth. Because as a promoter as a promoter, period, any person that curates events and you in charge of this said event, it is your job to be there in a timely fashion. It's understandable stuff happening, got run late. Okay, cool. But that's why you have assistants and other people that help you to do that. But being that this particular time, this person ain't have a motherfucking thing going on. Yeah, he ain't have a motherfucking thing going on.
Oh yeah, they got you hot.
This motherfucker called me. Yes, I'm cussing. Excuse my language to the guests, but please be free.
I like free language, honestly.
Please feel free to be relaxed. So this motherfucker called me, right? It's 20 minutes before the show. What's up, y'all? On TikTok, I'm telling the story. It's 20 minutes before the show, and my question, the only question I'm supposed to have is, hey, what time my artist going on? I'm not the fucking host. I'm not none of that. I'm not even supposed to do that. I'm not even dressed, equipped, or in the right frame of mind to be the host of said event.
Right.
And then I ain't fucking charge you. Because me touching the microphone outside of my people touching the microphone is a whole nother charge. And the simple fact that we did this, you know what I'm saying, for out the kindness of our heart, you know what I'm saying, you should not have called me. You should have been calling me to tell me, hey, I'm running late, I'll be here at this time. Not me asking the question and turning into me doing your fucking job. So, say nonetheless, dude said, this had a phone call went, hello? Yeah, man, my question is, who I need to talk to and what time are we going on? Oh, well, who's the host of the show? Oh, well, I was going to do it, but anybody can do it. What the fuck you mean anybody can do it? Because one, you got a Grammy Award winning artist that you done paid to come to said show.
Right.
This is a Grammy Award winning artist.
Right.
That I don't have, I like to keep it real. I ain't have nothing to do. You know what I'm saying? Like my job is manager. I manage my team in position, my camera personnel, my background singers there, everybody that need to be doing something pertaining to what the fuck I got going on is there. My job is to take care of them and to answer the questions that they got. Only question is what time we going on? Not who the fuck hosting the show. Not none of that other shit. But guess what happened? I host the show impromptu. Now I gotta get my mind right. One, I'm pissed off because it's unprofessional. So when it's unprofessional, I'm feeling some kind of way already. I'm already, you know what I'm saying? But we can't dwell on it. This is the realest of the work. We can't dwell on what the fuck is going on. You got to get into the moment and do it. So we could have been standing there. I could have said, nah, I ain't fucking hosting shit. But that would have made my people look bad.
Right.
So I had to take one for the team and host the whole event unprepared, not even dressed for the event. I came from my other job straight to the event. That's why that's one. Like I ain't get no shower time, no, you know what I'm saying. So I had to take my notes and shit. And can't nobody do what I do on the fly. This is just proven. It was proven yesterday, well, the other day. Because I had to take and put together, I don't know anything about the show. So what it looked like me getting up there hosting the show, I don't know nothing about it. I had to act like I knew something about what the fuck I was doing. And then, which ain't no bad deal because I can do that. What's up, y'all? It ain't no bad deal because I can do that. But the simple fact of the unprofessionalism of me having to do that. Because now I got to go talk to this Grammy Award winning singer and say, hey, the guy that's putting this on is not here. And now I'm taking over and I'm nobody because when I met you at sound check, you was already in a bad mood because sound check and all that other shit won't go on right. So when the show ain't going, you know what I'm saying? There's a whole lot of shit. But nonetheless, I had to do somebody's fucking job. I had to do somebody's fucking job.
That's how it go.
Yeah, that's how it go. But I say that to say this to the people that's listening and to anybody else that need to hear this. If you gonna take on a task, you gotta take on a task. You cannot be. I could have been at my other job that I should have probably been at, but you know what I'm saying. But I had to do what I had to do because I said I was gonna do what I was doing, and what I was doing was way more important than what I would have been doing. in the hindsight of things.
Right.
But when you got unprofessional motherfuckers that, yeah, when you got unprofessional motherfuckers that treat this business, especially with the artists that's traveling from near, far, and like the band came from 757, a whole nother, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
My people drove from DC.
Yeah.
I'm the only person that was based in the location that lived in the location that was there. Everybody else had to get in their car and drive 2 hours and 3 hours. And when you get into a position and you can't focus on the job or do the job, how the hell are you late to your event? How you show up late to your own event? And this is the part that ticked me off. I'm wrapping it up. This is what ticked me off. So at the end of the event, the singer, I'm not saying names for specific reasons. So the singer, you know what I'm saying, that was performing, I done did all the work for you. I done catered to you like I didn't put the event on. Like I done paid all this money. Like I'm about to get the money from the ticket sales. Like I'm about to get the money from the food sales. Like I'm about to get any compensation. I done work like
it's your event.
Yeah.
I'm with you.
So this motherfucker come to me and say, excuse my language again.
It's all right.
So this motherfucker come to me and say, because it's the audacity.
Right.
Hey, you working with her? Now I know who the fuck you is. You just don't know who I am. I said, no. I'm the guy that's been running this fucking show because the other asshole didn't show up. Oh, I'm that asshole. Oh, exactly.
That's right.
Exactly.
That's right.
Now let me go close this show.
Well, my God, it's so disrespectful.
It is.
Of everybody's time, of everybody's experience.
It is. That shit's crazy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
And we couldn't prolong the show because when you on a time schedule with money and people time and time is money, you can't have a Grammy Award winning artist that's traveling saying, hey, we're gonna push the show back another 30 minutes. You can't do that. You can't do that. But nonetheless, you know, I pull that shit off because I'm me. You know what I'm saying? But the moral of the story is if you're gonna be professional, be fucking professional.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Be where you need to be when you need to be there. And have assistance and people in position in case shit goes left. Because in the entertainment business, shit is always going to go left.
Yeah.
You just got to know that it's going to go left and know
got the
you're going to
COA cover your own ass.
But, you know, that's how it is. And then we're going to go ahead and switch gears real quick. You want to introduce our guests before we get into this?
Absolutely.
We chilling real quick. Y'all chilling. We chilling. Y'all chilling.
Oh, do you want to go to a commercial?
You want to go to a
Yeah,
commercial?
right now we got to go into a commercial. When we come back, I will introduce to the world on Born Hustla Radio someone who will enlighten you and show you the pathway to healing those inner parts of yourself that you may not feel that you want to show the world, but you need healing from. But we'll get back into that right after this commercial break. Thank you for tuning in to Born Hustla Radio.
Man, y'all saw how you just hit that motherfucker that exit. I had to fuck it up because this was the cleanest exit that he did.
Damn, that was inspiring.
Hey.
It's right off the top of my head. It came from a real place.
That was the cleanest outro he put out. Yo, that was the nicest way to bust off to the
Thank
commercial.
you. I am honored.
You already know.
Hey, he really did that right after this commercial break. He added all of that shit.
Yeah, I listen to a lot of radio going.
And here I go. I'm ready to say, you know why we pay the bills, man? We pay the bills because the bills got to be paid.
Yeah, absolutely.
So with that being said, we are about to switch over to the commercial break. And if you need that bill to be paid, you need to hit us up at www.thetyme.radio.com. Hit us up on the message board. Check out the shows all week that we got going on. Check out all the specials. And then you can get one of these nice ass commercials, man, because we doing too. Let us know you need them and we're going to get one for you. So we'll be back after this.
Hey, remember we gotta also drop the thing for the sponsorship in our show at some point for the radio station.
Appreciate y'all tuning in, YouTube and all other stations. We out here, we working.
As usual.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Because see, even though the radio is playing commercial, we still out.
It's on radio show right now. We about to get into
some healing.
yeah,
Something that the world needs. Y'all be feeding on that drama.
Yes.
It's time to let it go. Sage your house, open the windows, let the spirit go.
Breathe some fresh air.
Yeah.
Y'all, politics. How y'all feel about politics?
How do you mean? How do we feel about politics?
That's a loaded question.
I'll tell you how I feel about politics. I think I'd say I try to be as central as possible, which is decidedly not neutral. So I try and hear the humanity of everybody's pleas, so that I'm in tune. I don't know.
Yeah, because you live on a different vibe. The universe help provide.
But I will say,
I think she's aware.
Of course.
I am aware.
Because to be aware is to be alive.
She was feeling like, because I've been talking shit about my man.
About who?
Y'all know I'm talking shit about my main man, dog.
Oh, yeah, he loves Trump. Yes.
I'm not afraid of that.
Oh, yes, he got this hoodie that uses his name as an acronym of our very first show. And then he goes on the air and he says, we was at the Trump rally. I said, absolutely not. We was not there. You were there. It's the funniest thing ever. That was our very first show.
That's right. I remember you telling me about
29 episodes ago. Yes. Well, we up to like 32 now, ain't it, cuz?
Yeah.
Like 32 episodes. We got a year on that belt.
Really?
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Yeah. We made a year. They ain't canceled us yet.
Yeah, we back, man. Shout out, I gotta go to my y'all on y'all social media. This is the time for y'all to talk to y'all social media right now. Everybody talk to y'all social media. If y'all got y'all people on the phones, we back. I'm gonna talk to my TikTok people. What's up, man? Y'all gotta tap in with me. I'm live on air, but I got y'all sitting in the
Yeah, tap the screen, share live on Hustla Radio.
and to the
Now, this just be technical difficulties.
to the people on air, we back. Appreciate y'all tuning in. This is a special episode of Born Hustla Radio. We got some guests in the building. It's been hold on. Is these our very first guests for real?
No, when we had Yanni Red and we had
No, we had
Tavash Floyd and we had
It's
the
been a
people
while
from
since we
Real
had
from
it.
what was the name of the program? For the inmates coming home for the rehabilitation inmates. Yeah, we had quite a few.
I'm slipping. My mind slipping.
No, don't worry about that. I got you.
It's been a
That's why I
while.
got you back. We straight.
It's been a while since we had a guest in here with us.
Yeah, it has. This is our very first guest at this location.
Yeah, since we changed.
So yeah, y'all blessed this place.
So
This is
this
our
is,
very first.
and this is the first guest of the new
Yeah,
year too.
you can just set the energy right.
Yeah. So yeah, we got the guest of our first year, but I'm not gonna say anything because I'm not gonna introduce these guests.
Okay, so what I would like to say right now, if you're tuning in, I just want for you right now to take a deep breath, inhaling through your nose and exhaling through your mouth slowly, so you can align your chakra and open your mind to this new path of healing that you're about to experience. The next voice that you're about to hear from is an actual healer, and I'm going to also say slash scientist. And her name is Sandra. And she will introduce herself. And we're just going to go right into this. So welcome to Born Hustla, Sandra. How are you doing today?
I'm wonderful.
And for the people out there, just let them know a little bit about yourself, where you're from, how did you get into healing, your background in science,
Yeah.
the basics before we go in.
Alright, so the basics.
You speak to this right here.
Oh.
Yep.
I'm from Virginia and born in the Army. And then bopped around for a bit, Northern Virginia, down to Lynchburg, studied some psychology down there, started to get into neuropsychology there. So got into healing about 15 years ago, learned about Reiki, a little bit about Reiki, started practicing yoga when I was pregnant with my middle child, who is now 21 years old, so 22 years ago, picked up a yoga deck of cards.
Shout out to mom.
Shout out to Orion. I tell him all the time that he was born through yoga because I did my labor through Yoga Breast. I learned in this card deck, like the yoga card deck that you get at Barnes and Noble or whatever, Yoga
Right.
to Go. Anyway, so he was born into it. He has got to be a yogi. And let's see, what else? Oh, well, so I started studying neurobiology for my master's degree, and didn't quite finish it up, which was like much to my chagrin at the time. However, it's proving to be a very useful thing to not have finished at this point in my life, which I'm proud to say. But decided to keep studying. Regardless, I was doing a master's. I was studying holistic healing and natural healing for brain disorders, and I was studying neuronal pathways and neurochemicals and all kinds of that fun stuff, and I couldn't get enough. And so when I had to stop studying because I had life situations that took over. It's like pay the rent or pay school. You got 3 kids, you know what I mean?
Right, life shows up.
Yeah, it shows up. And so, do I have to be close to this?
Yeah, so they
Okay.
can pick you up.
All right. So, where was I?
You were saying that you had to choose between paying for
Yeah,
school or taking care of your
School
family.
or kids? Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Rent. I mean, that was kind of the thing. But my brain had never wanted to stop learning, so I kept going and just picked up books that I could pick up. Had friends that did spiritual work that were started to teach me things to, hey, go study this. It touches the science that you're studying, and suddenly these worlds started blending science and yoga and meditation and all these things. You know what I mean?
And it's funny that you said you study and read books because you actually put me on to a great book by James Nestor called Breathe. I recommend this book to everyone that's listening or to everyone that will see this after it airs live. You should read this book. It will change your life. And if you follow the book to a T, it will add years to your life.
Indeed.
You will not believe how many of us live our life never correctly taking a full breath. But we're going to go back to this.
So true. Oh my God. What a great shout. That book is amazing.
Yes, that was an amazing book.
It's amazing. Yeah, so there's my education up to this point, just past not finishing the master's degree, has been self-learning, which I didn't realize until recently was actually a special trait. Max says to me one day. He says, some people don't normally do that. But I just kept studying. I wanted to.
Right.
And I couldn't stop because things kept making sense. And the more I practiced and the more I studied and the more they came together and the more I saw, wait a minute, something's happening here. Something's coming up. Wait a minute, I have tools to handle this. Wait a second, I'm capable. Wait a second, I don't have to be in this toxic situation. Wait a second, I can self-autonomize. Wait a second, I can heal. Holy shit. And wait a minute, I have so much fucking knowledge from reading so many fucking books and from going so deep with myself that I suddenly figured out, and that's like when you and I met, was when I was like starting to teach people the yoga of what I did to get to this
right
point.
there, and to your point. So this is how the universe works. My cousin, who had this whole idea for this radio podcast that we're on right now, Born Hustla, says to me one day, "Cuz, you want to go with me to the radio station?" Now, me, I always cheer for my people, so I said, sure. Now, my intention was to just go with him because I know he's an artist, philanthropist, mogul, that, this is something that he has going on, whatever he has going on.
Right.
We walk into Big Time Radio Network, and he looked over at the guy and was like, yeah, this is my co-host. So, during that process and his networking relationships, we end up being part of Richmond International Film Festival, which is the event where I met you at that night in the Bird Theater.
Correct.
Now, when we first started the event, my cousin had said to me, he was like, "Network, go talk to some people." And I explained to him, this is my first year. I just kind of want to take it all in. Now he work in the room because he's been there. That's him. That's Albie. He don't work the room.
Right.
People know him. They love him.
Right.
They always volunteering him for to get order in the room, get things. He's the guy you get to fix it.
Right.
So
Right.
when we got to the Bird Theater, I was just standing back and he was talking to the gentleman that you were there at the theater with at the time. And he was explaining to me the backstory on him and how he had the magical voice.
Scott
And
Carter.
I never forget when you walked up to me, he was like, you gave me your, I call it a poker chip, your poker chip with your website on it. And you said, we're going to do some great things together. And at the time, I didn't know. And it took me a while, like I said, to reach out because I didn't want to waste your time.
Yeah.
And now here we are. So all of this really happened because of Albie.
Oh, Albie, thank you, darling. Thank you.
He basically generated this whole situation that we're sitting here today. It came full circle. So shouts out to Albie.
Thank
So
you, Albie.
if y'all see Albie outside anywhere, you might want to stop to have a conversation. This man has a knack for putting people together.
I tried a conversation.
Well, I got to add to that story.
Yes.
Because I think I told you this, but I might not have. But to add to the universal magic, I had this. Well, I was rebuilding my website and transitioning from I was transitioning from being a professional photographer, international photographer. I'm like, I got to get out of this because I need to go into healing, and the time that you have to put into photography is crazy, right? So I'm like doing this new website, and I like put all of the science out on the website, and I'm just like, this is a beautiful website. It's perfect. It says everything. But the problem was it said everything. And so this lady looked at it and she was like, girl, nobody reads. And I was like, fuck. It's all dialogue. It's not dialogue. It's all words. And I was like, shit, what do I do? And so she's like, well, this is a web designer. And she's like, well, we simplify. And I was like, all right, hold on. Let me think about.
Less is more.
Right. I was like, all right, let me think about what I want the website to look like, and I'll get back to you, because now I need to like go and think about, if they don't read, what the fuck do I do?
Right.
You know what I mean?
How do I get the information to the people?
What's the point of a fucking website? You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So I was like, okay, think, Sansa. So I go and I take like a new website template because I had built my first one, right? So I like put this little website together, and I was like, all right, this is simple. This does this is all right. This is pretty simple. This is kind of how I want it to look like. So I send the prototype to the lady,
Right.
and she's like, girl, you just did the website. That's all you need to do. You did it. I don't need to do anything. And I was like, well, shit. Right. So
Right. But you put the work in because you care about what you're doing.
Certainly.
Right.
Yeah. And so then I'm like, oh shit, well, I don't have to like pay for web designer now. So I go live and I launch, and I kept having this push. It was like this push, get it changed, get it done by this time. I like deadlines in my head for some reason, which I'm letting go of.
Right.
Because
time is only a concept.
Right.
It's a construct.
Right. Not there's none of that in the nonlinear, right? So, but at the time I was really hung up on it, and I felt this push to get this thing out, and I launched the website, and 1 hour later, I got my first ding on the website, a submission from Alvin, and it said, it was like, I don't know if you remember me. I'm from Riff, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, he goes, I just finally got the chance to look at your website.
Yep. And I was amazed. I was blown away with that.
And I was like, holy shit, that
You were the first one.
you were the first person to see it.
And what really caught me about the website is that it was simplified but complex, and it showed all of her talents she wanted to show, from the photography to the yoga to the healing.
Yeah.
It was well blended.
Thank you.
It was very professional. I wouldn't have thought that you did it yourself. I would have thought you paid somebody.
Thank you.
The pictures were beautiful.
Thank you.
And honestly, your business chip sat on my coffee table, and it sat there for a while. And I looked at it every day, and I made sure it was there every day. Something about this chip just because I pick up business cards everywhere I go, because I own my own business. So does my cousin. And as an entrepreneur, you never know who you might need to reach out to in the future. So it's good to have their contact information.
Right.
You know what I mean? And if you want to go home now, because we live in a time of information, that business card may have a scan code on it so you can see all the other things that they're into. So I never turn that information, because information is power. You never know when you might need it.
Yes.
So I just kept looking at it, Well, what was going on with me was life was happening. First of all, I gave up Florida. Me and my wife did. We made a grown up decision to come back here because my mother called and said she needed us. Well, upon returning to here, we got custody of my youngest kid, the youngest of six. So I had a chance to be an active father again, which is the greatest role ever in my life. Felt a little conflicted because the three major relationships in my life are the three failures of my life. I ended up with three children's mother, for a lack of better words, but they were my three failed relationships. Because by me growing up in a household with a father and a mother, that's what I strive for. But I wasn't taking the time to get to know these people, so I'm expecting them to value the same thing that I value, but they're not raised the way I'm raised, so it doesn't mesh well. And in the midst of that, we're making children. So I have all that fallout of having my children taken from me as a punishment because I didn't want to be with the mothers. Having a system to back them to do this. Me moving to Florida so that my youngest kid, mama, can stop messing with me and my wife's livelihood just because misery loves company. When you're not happy, you don't want to see your ex go be happy. So dealing with all of this trauma and just putting it, stepping on it to continue to adult, because especially for men, we don't get to complain. None of that. We just supposed to continue on. It was a void in my life that wasn't being filled. So it was just something about her website that was like, you need to reach out to her. Now I've never done yoga. did high end aerobics when I went to J-Sarge, which I didn't finish because that used to be a pattern in my life. Starting things and then when they too tough or difficult, I always going to something else. So that was a habit I had to break myself out of. So I wanted to make sure before that I reached out to you that I was committed to this process. So then when I reached out and we met for the first time and we talked and we had our first session, and it was a 3 hour session, which I needed because I needed to get this up off of me. I mean, by the time I met Sandra, my mama had passed away. My father died during the pandemic. I was trapped in Florida. He had to die alone at MCV. He might have would have survived if after his operation they would have sent him home because he didn't catch COVID until they put him on the rehab side of the hospital. And that's where he caught COVID at, and he died. And he died in a room full of strangers. And this was a man who gave his whole life to people.
Wow.
So I had all of that inside of me.
Wow.
In our first 3 hour session, she allowed me a space where all of that could just come out. Because I didn't want it to come out violently, because my true nature is not to hurt anyone. I'm a protector. And I am this way because as a human being, I went through being bullied. And I ain't talking about the bullying they crying about now on the phone. I'm talking about kids carrying guns. You might get shot. A lot of my friends didn't make it over the weekend bullying. Because you're talking about kids that's growing up in homes that's dysfunctional. The parents on drugs. They come from a second or third generation of criminals. So their behaviors and their actions are far beyond their age.
Right.
They don't know the ramifications and what they're doing to the people that they're exerting these acts of violence on, the damage you're doing. My cousin went to the same high school with me. He went to Franklin. I went to Franklin 1 year, but went back to Armstrong. And that was a whole construct in itself.
Wow. Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
But inner city kids go through these constructs.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, we're just getting on mental health.
Right.
And that's when I run into
Right.
you.
And at the time, I had been and am still working on the project for the schools in my area around the ashram,
Right.
which is where I teach.
Yes,
yoga
absolutely.
At my little space in Richmond. And I was like, I was inspired in part by Max's niece, Avery, who's in. She went to TJ. She just graduated.
Okay.
Bless her, Avery, my sweet angel.
Congratulations.
And yeah, so her and one of my other students, I had I had somebody come to the ashram for a class.
Okay.
And she came and she said, I think you could, after she took a class with me, she came back for a second class and said, I think you can help my granddaughter. And I said, how? And she was like, well, I don't know how, but I think you can. And she told me the circumstances around her granddaughter, right? And it was like all of this, there was a lot of trauma, a lot of Similar stuff to what you were talking about with Lauren about having a white mom and a black father and not really
Right.
knowing
That
which,
construct.
that construct is really tough. And
Yeah, it's a thin line.
yeah, and there's a lot of variables in this child's like experience and that have put her in a situation of really carrying around a lot of pain, and she was like cutting and really depressed
Yep.
and going through these things since she was 11.
Yes.
And I was like, what the fuck?
Yes.
She's 11, you know what I'm saying? And I had just received my master Reiki certification, or I had just started practicing, I should say. I don't really talk about certifications like that, but I had just started practicing maybe a month before this person came in and said, you can help. I think you can help my granddaughter. Man, I was so freaking scared. I believed in everything I was doing.
Right.
And yet, Reiki is like largely considered this like pseudoscience, this it's invisible thing. And I was just like, what do I do? Like, she's not going to do yoga with me, is she? Like, I mean, maybe she will. I could maybe try to get her to do yoga, but like, what am I really going to do? And it really came to like this tool of Reiki. And I thought, how do I like, where my water is now? It's right here, sorry. I thought about it, and of course I said I would help, like straight up, absolutely, right? And I talked to the mom, we got a little backstory, got a little bit going on, and then I decided, you know what, if she's into I found out she was into like witchy shit.
Okay.
And she liked being up late at night, and she liked candles and crystals and shit. Right. I was like, let's make a vibe, right? So I tell the mom, I was like, ask her if she, explain to her a little bit about what Reiki is, right? And ask her if she's into it, and if she's into like receiving some Reiki to feel better, to go to sleep. She's having problems sleeping, there's all these things going on.
Because the mind ain't calm.
Yeah. And using the phone to distract, and then panicking, tons of anxiety.
But that phone take them into a psychosis of scrolling.
Yeah, that phone,
it brings on insomnia.
Yeah, unless it's used correctly.
Right. You got to have balance with everything in this world.
Correct. So I'm like, all right, let's do this little vibe. So we set up this scene in my little ashram space, right? And light the whole place with candles. Max contributed some candles to the scene. I didn't have enough candles, because I wanted it really cool. You know what I mean? Like an 11-year-old's coming in to get healed. Oh, because she said yes. She told her mom that yes, she would receive Reiki. So I was like, all right, sweet.
See, the universe provides.
Right. So I was like, all right, well, we asked permission. She says yes. All right. So then we set it up still just as a session with her mom. And her mom comes in, and I immediately noticed that this child's energy was like, no, I don't want you to come near me. I'm not going to talk to you. I'm not going to look at you. In fact, I'm going to make fun of you. I'm going to poke at you. I'm going to do annoying things. I'm going to be this way. I'm going to test my boundaries. Like, whatever. My mom has me here.
I sure got rebellious.
Yeah, I just rebellious, right? And I was like, just could see it from really far away. And I was like, wow, it's amazing. I mean, I'm fascinated by human psychology, and developmental child psychology was one of my like deep dives, and how to work with people through.
But that's where it all begins. These hurt adults that you got walking around, it's just childhood trauma.
Right. That's all it is. That's all it is. It's just
that's why you
trauma.
have men when they say go through midlife crisis. It's not midlife crisis.
No.
It's just he's reliving his childhood.
The childhood's coming up. The fucked up shit. The fucked up shit from the childhood. Yeah, the fucked up shit from the childhood's coming up to be healed.
Yeah,
it's like now you deal with it or you die.
Yeah, straight up.
It's one or the other. You
what goes in must come out.
Right. You see it.
Yeah.
You look at it, you decide, am I going to keep this shit or not? You know what I'm saying? And then some people decide to keep it.
And how it manifests is all on how you handle it.
Yeah.
Absolutely. That's why I came to see you.
Right. So yes.
And been better for it ever since.
Thank you. And still practicing.
Yes.
And reading and doing practice. You understand the value of not having come into the ashram once or twice a week to do asana practice, because you do all kinds of different things, feeding your brain, staying in your work. I mean,
it has helped me in every aspect of my life. The first thing it allowed me to do was get to a state where I could forgive all of the women I had children by. And I want this to be heard loud and clear. The worst thing you can do is to keep your children away from a parent that really wants to be a parent. It is not good for that parent, and it's not good for the children.
No.
For every one of my children that I was kept away from, they have developmental issues dealing with certain situations in life that they would be better equipped to cope with because you've only been taught one way. So you don't have balance. You only have, this is the way my mother would do it.
Right.
Well, unfortunately, your mother is designed to nurture. So she moves from emotion. You need from your father the logical standpoint of living life.
Indeed.
That's how you get what? A well-balanced human being.
Well, and also you got that mama might not be perfect.
No.
You know, so there might be trauma that they're carrying into
That
that
they are
situation.
carrying. That's why-
they definitively are.
And that's why there was a separation of child and parent.
Yeah.
Because you would already understand, if there's any way we can salvage co-parenting, this will be best for the child.
The child.
But that's hard when feelings are involved.
I know. That's why people got to unenmesh, man. You got to get away from that codependency, yo. Like, you have to autonomize.
And you got to deal with the uncomfortable stuff.
You got to. And you can only autonomize if you deal with the uncomfortable stuff. You can't. You cannot come to self-awareness without looking at your shit.
And
It's
can't
not
nobody
possible.
else heal you. Nobody else can make you happy if you're not willing to do the work.
No, you have to be willing to show the fuck up for yourself.
For yourself. How much is your mental wellness worth to you?
Yep.
And I truly believe that the work that you do is the answers for all our veterans that's out here suffering
Amen.
with this PTSD. Locking them up is not the answer.
No.
You need to provide a space where they can do the work
Yes.
and they can heal.
Yes.
They have been through trauma.
Yes.
Seeing
yes.
that much death, being in those war zones is not normal to human nature.
No, and there is a way out. There's
Yes.
a way. There's a way
Without
out of the
suicide
body.
and medication.
Yes.
Yes.
Without medication and without suicide, there's a way out, and it's quick.
Yep.
And as soon as people know, like, oh, this is what it is, and this is how I get it out. If you have an intention, you sick of that shit, you want to let it go, it leaves, you guys. It leaves, and then you just have to keep going, and you have to find new tools to put in place of that old shit you don't want to hang on to any longer, and then suddenly you're building a new structure.
But lining your chakra is a major part of it.
It is indeed.
Because you can see everything clearly once your chakras are lined.
Yes, indeed.
Some people may think it's mythical, but I promise you, I'm telling you live on Born Hustler, I've done the work. When you line your chakra up, you can't be touched.
Yeah, and
Now, nothing out here in this universe will be able to stop you from achieving what you're going after.
amen. That is true. That is true. That is true.
And if you want to know what was the secret recipe between those who make it and don't, we just gave it to you.
And how do you align the chakras, my dear student?
You align your chakras by your breathing, putting yourself in an environment where you can focus, where you can step outside of yourself, get out of your head, and align your whole inner person.
I am so proud of you. That didn't come from me. This person is that way, by the way. Like, I actually said to Alvin when Alvin came to class, and I appreciate all of the beautiful words. He's sitting here after we do our 3-hour class. He's sitting here talking wise, y'all. And I mean wise. And I looked at him and I was like, yo, do you need yoga? You seem like you're already there. He goes, girl, I did the asana. He's like, gee, I need you to get this shit out of my body.
Absolutely.
And I was like, that's right.
I
The
was
mind,
tired of carrying.
yeah, because the mind can be ready and the body can be holding on to stuff. And so the mind can be in that space of frustration. And especially with like classical psychology and medications, there's an end. There's an end. And that's what people are bumping up against right now, saying, what the fuck, it didn't work. I've been doing this for this long and it didn't fucking work.
Right.
What's the truth now? And so if they're having to come back to their individual truth, that's the only fucking truth.
That is.
That's the only fucking truth.
True. Absolutely.
That's it. It doesn't matter. My truth is the only truth. Your truth is the only truth. Max's truth is the only truth.
Right.
Albie's truth is the only truth.
Because your life is perfectly designed for your journey.
And everybody that we bump into, everybody that we see, everybody that we use, as far as like not use, but you know
But
what
yeah,
I'm
they
saying?
become in contact.
Yeah, they become our support, or they become a
And that's why
reflection.
you have to be careful who you share your energy with.
Mm.
Yep. Because some people can leave negative energy on you, and you wonder why you leave a conversation or an interaction feeling down.
Yo,
I'm big on that. I watch people. I watch how people interact with other people. And one of my major keys is when someone hold on, this is life. Yes, babe, I'm live on that. What's going on? Okay, the line's not working. It's okay. All right, love you. How about it? Okay, so I was just informed that our Google phone line is not working.
Okay.
Yes, that was the queen. She was going to talk to
Oh.
you. But
Oh. Hello, Pamela.
yeah, like I don't know, man. Just for me, my experience with you and the science of which you do, it was a form of therapy for me, other than just sitting on the sofa complaining to someone. I'm just not built that way.
Right.
Like I was born a beautiful soul, but I was born into a very contrite environment
Mm-hmm.
where you had to protect that, or they would eat you alive, like a wolf, like literally. I mean, I remember walking to school and heroin addicts coming out the alleyway with needles in their neck.
Jeez.
Like I really want to paint this picture for the people who out there. When I say I come from the bottom, I come from a community that was surrounded by 4 projects. I'm from Church Hill, not the Church Hill you see now with the overpriced homes. I'm talking about it was a beautiful community, but it was infested with drugs and prostitution because under the government establishment that we were under, that's what they did to profit. And I deal with the repercussions of that. You understand? I'm born in 1980. I come up through the Reagan era.
Right.
I mean, they literally was scoring crack at the White House. So we talking about a different America then.
Right.
See, we want to whitewash it and forget about that. Yeah, it's all been beautiful. Absolutely not. We literally drugged our citizens to fund a war.
Yep.
That's why we got so many guns on the street.
Yep.
So we got to do the work to heal ourselves because the government plan is just to keep control.
Yeah.
It's not to heal.
No, it's not.
You can look at modern day medicine. They'll give you 50 million medicines that'll mess up 20 other things in you
Yeah.
just to keep you coming back.
Just to keep.
And then when you, that insurance you pay, when you die, they want to argue with your people about paying it out. You know what I'm saying? You're like, what? So we live in a world where I can pay into something that in the end you can say, nah, you don't qualify. Good luck, figure it out. At a trying time when we're trying to take care of our loved ones.
Right.
An emotional time.
Right. Yeah.
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 So-
Anytime you're going to cash in on insurance, it's something has happened, and for them to do that to people, it's just.
But that's because the people with the power don't understand they have the power. We think that's the way the world should be. It's just the same old, same old. No, we have the power because we have the money. Without us, there's no insurance companies.
Yeah.
Without us, there's no doctors.
Right.
Doctors don't have no patients. How are they going to be doctors?
Right.
So the people need to start tapping into themselves
Tapping in.
and taking back your power.
Yes. Yes.
My
yes.
famous words, I don't go where I'm tolerated, I go where I'm celebrated.
Amen.
Which means if I walk into your establishment and I get the ugly face or you don't want to deal with me, I will politely be a gentleman and walk right back out.
Right.
Because I came here for good energy. And if that's not what you give, I'll politely take my energy somewhere else where it'll be appreciated. Thank you.
That's right.
Yes.
And it's a great.
And it's powerful.
Yes.
When you're in control of your own energy, you truly have power.
Amen.
So many people are controlled by materialistic things, what people gonna think about them, what my family want me to do, what my co-workers think. And this is the one that really kills me that parents go through, what my child think. I want y'all to hear me clearly. To every child that's out there, I don't give a damn what you think. You don't live this life yet. You have yet to become an adult. When you become an adult, you will understand that some decisions are made, not by how we feel, but what is best for the family. And one thing that I teach all of my children, all the time making the right decision, you will not be rewarded for it. You will even be painted as the villain. But the truth always comes to the light.
Mm-hmm.
You just got to have the resilience to sit back and watch it unfold.
Yeah.
And that's where everything that we work on come into place. Because it aligns everything for you can have the third eye to foresee the bigger picture instead of reacting off hurt feelings.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I have a little, so here's the thing I see in you as a parent. You have given, I met Lauren tonight, and you have given that beautiful, brilliant angel child such space to show you who she is. And that is one of the most beautiful things a father can give to their child, to anybody, can give to anybody else. but especially a father to a daughter, I'd say, because it's like the only way we get to figure out who we are, and the structure that you've provided for that person to figure these things out about herself, just what she was sharing with me, and what did we see each other for 5-6 minutes?
Right.
I mean, I was like, bro, that's amazing. And she's 16.
And far mature beyond her years.
No, and she knows that I'm certain she knows that her brain, has got to 25. She already knows these things. These people are talking about it in the schools. You know what I'm saying? She knows, I'm structuring, and I'm structuring right, and I'm structuring right. It's amazing.
The fact that she has the resilience to come from having a birth mother that is addicted and neglected to teach her the small things, and then to come and be a part of my life again with my wife. And she said that in her program she had to write about something that she took for granted. She said, I had to think to myself that my mom now, that I consider my mother, chooses to be my mom.
Yeah.
She's not my mom because she had me. She's not my mom because she wanted to marry my father and he had money. They were already married together, and she chooses to take the time out of her life to help me have a better life.
Yeah.
And she was like, and I need to be more grateful for that. She was like, and like most teenagers, I find myself getting frustrated because when mama get on your backside, you don't like it, like clean your room, do your chores, you hate it, but it's from a place of love so that you can be what? One day, a responsible adult that can take care of themselves. Because I'm not going to take care of you when you're grown up.
No, it's on you.
Right.
It's on everybody to take care of themselves.
So the fact that she could even sit down and appreciate that
Yeah.
was just affirmation that me and my wife, we're doing a great job in raising her.
Yeah.
Because you're also looking at another soul with my wife who had been through mental abuse, physical abuse, trauma. That's why she built herself so tough.
She's a healer.
She like she says, I'm not a victim, I'm a victor. She's a warrior.
She is indeed.
Queen.
She is.
She's the type of queen, like she said, I'm not just going to love my king, I'm going to protect him too.
Yeah.
I'm on the front line with her. And that's how she moves.
That's an impressive woman. She
Yes.
was telling me all about, she's like, I did this is what I do, this is who I am, this is how I was raised, I got 3 brothers. That is a tough, beautiful, strong woman.
Exactly.
She's amazing.
And it takes all of that in order to get these young people prepared for the world they're going into. Because they're going into a very competitive world. They're going into a world that imposes a lot of mental stress on them. Because that's the game now. That's why you got trolls. It's all mental domination. See, for us who lived before the internet, social media is like, we can turn it off. I don't care. You don't like me, so what? For them, it's the end all be all. I mean, if they put a post up and don't get a certain amount of likes, they freaking out. I'm like, I don't care. If it's not a person like it, I'm just using this platform to express what's going on along my journey. Now, if it can help someone, then quite naturally, I appreciate that. But I'm not here for the fame.
Right.
See, I was raised different. We was raised to be infamous, not famous. See, fame, you can't go anywhere. When you're infamous, you're an idea. You could be right in their face and they not know it. That's where true power comes in at. I've witnessed this in the local barbershop. A guy telling the story about another guy that's in the shop. And he laughing because he's like, that ain't even the way it go. They making the story sound better than what it was. Hey, but haters are your biggest marketer. So let them do their job.
Yes.
They spend more, the people who dislike you spend more time watching you than the people who like you.
Indeed.
But you know what's ironic though? When you're putting out positive vibes and quality content, indirectly it helps them. They may never tell you.
Yeah.
But they watch you so much. The process of healing has started.
Yeah.
They just don't know how to say thank you.
And that's fine. That's just fine.
Because we don't do it for the thank yous or the rewards.
Exactly.
We just giving back positive vibes into the universe.
Exactly.
That's it.
And then magnetizing those who need to come. That's what my girl Melissa was talking about. Just magnetizing to exactly what you need, to evolve, to learn, to explore, to whatever. It's beautiful.
I mean, just the fact that we sit in this studio right now We all from all different walks of life. This is what the whole civil rights movement was about, so we can have the conversation.
Yeah.
People just need to have the conversation.
Yes.
It's time to stop being afraid of what you don't understand.
Yeah. Well, and it's really time to start telling the truth.
Yes.
And it's the truth of who we are. And I think that's what, we've been put into. We've come from a space where society has set up these ideas for us of how things should go. But if you sit with your truth inside of what is inside of you and say, is that true for me? Does that work for me? For me, not up against anybody, not in competition, not in hierarchy, not in I have this certificate and this degree and all this. No, for me, does it work for me?
For me, period. Like, be real with yourself.
Right. And if it doesn't work for you, abandon ship, yo.
Absolutely. What's the point of keep doing something that ain't working?
Right.
That's insanity.
It's insanity.
To keep doing the same thing and expect something different. You know the outcome.
Insanity.
You got so many people walking around out here miserable and hurting on the inside, and they just so used to the habit of being that way that they're gonna die that way.
Yep.
Instead of just saying, I need help.
Right.
We all humans. We go through this life. Life will beat you up.
Mm-hmm.
It's okay. It doesn't make you weak to say it.
Yeah.
It's all right.
Yeah. I'll tell you one of the things that I tell people, and I said this over the weekend when I was at that healing retreat, or healing gathering, I should say. There's problem with America, with the world, with humanity, is they're largely problem addicted.
Yeah.
And if you can get past being problem addicted and get present and stop looking for the fucking problem everywhere you look, stop looking for the negative, stop looking for if we break this habit of looking for the problem constantly, then you come back to the present and you're just like, is there any problem right here?
No.
There ain't no fucking problem right here.
I don't have problems.
No
I have
problem at all.
situations that need to be solved, and I solve them.
Certainly. And each day you move toward those things just in your natural practice of life.
Absolutely.
Because you know what's got to get done. You know what's going to, and you're moving and you're breathing and you're grateful and you're kind and you're loving and you're emitting these vibrations of authenticity and people, so you're supported.
But see, that's where humility comes from, through acts of kindness. People look at the word humility and think, meaning being a doormat. No, that's not how you practice humility. You practice humility by acts of service. Why do you think I'm a chef? What I do for a living on a 9 to 5 is a part of everybody's experience. Food is a part of your experience, whether it's a sad occasion or a happy occasion. So I take what I do for a living very seriously. I'm passionate about it. I don't do that shit just for the money, because trust me, it doesn't pay as good as people think it is. And I work at the Hilton Hotel, and I'm talking about that's about the best it's gonna get. But the passion of what I do, the fact that I can touch your experience without even knowing you.
Yeah.
My greatest compliment is when I walk through an event and the only thing I hear is a fork touching the plate. The food is so good, not even conversation going on.
Yes.
I have done my job.
Amen.
And
with love, and they're all eating love. They're all
they can
eating
tell
that
in the
vibration.
food.
Yes, of course they can.
My kitchen right now is transitioning because we're getting the people out who's just there for the money. I was like, do y'all not know y'all work at one of the top establishments in the world that is known for customer service? So if you just want to treat this like an Applebee's, you need to remove yourself. They have a level of excellence here at the Hilton for the price point that they pay. So the food should reflect that.
Amen.
And the attitude of the service should be that.
Amen.
And it's not a request. This is a requirement. This is one of the things that I talk about at my job. I said, we went to sleep one night and we woke up with the whole world being okay with mediocre service. I won't pay for mediocre service.
No.
Absolutely not. Because you need to make money for your family. You're in the service industry. You need to give me exceptional service. And then I'll give you an exceptional tip. But if I see you over there on your phone, and this goes out to the new generation, stop letting us watch you on your phone when you should be tending to your people that's in your establishment. It's bad customer service. Period. But we live in a society, they're so tender now, you can't say that.
You
have to soften the blow.
Disappear. People need to get a serious break from these phones. They're toxic,
And that's why I said what I said. Life is about balance. Because with this technology, it's how I was able to reach out to you. It was how I was able to tap into your website. It was how I was able to get a glimpse of you. so I could have an idea what I was walking into,
Yeah.
so I could contemplate, was I ready to take these next steps?
Yes. Proper use.
Instead of just walking in and having these preconceived notions and just whole energy off,
Yeah.
making you do more work than you would have had to do.
Right. Or making you do more work.
Absolutely. You know what I mean? So yes, definitely.
Yeah.
And then the fact that we were neighbors, we're
Yeah,
fannies.
that was amazing.
Yeah, we're fannies in the middle of this beautiful city that I get so tired of hearing people talk about how there's nothing to do in Richmond. No, you're just not tapped in.
Yo, Richmond
And you need to
is
open up
full.
outside of your comfortable zone. Because what's comfortable for you might not be what's going on.
Mm. Well, and you got to get away from the phone and go discover things. Put the phone down. Take a 10-minute walk. Take an hour-long walk. Go walk to the river. I gave my car to my son recently because I just wanted to practice. I'm like, I live in the fucking city.
Yeah, so you can move around.
I should just be able to walk everywhere. And I learned this when I was in Hawaii, actually, because I had to walk everywhere. And I was like, I came back and I was like, I'm not going to stop walking everywhere. You know what I mean? That was amazing. You know what I'm saying? And one of my students, Jess, always says, walk, 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 walk. And she walks
because you see more things when you walk. When you're in the car, you miss so many
You
things.
miss so many
because
things.
you zoom past it.
Yeah. Or if you stay inside and don't even, dare interrupt the outside world. You know
Well,
what
my
I'm saying?
theory is everything on this earth grows to the sun.
Yeah.
So why is us as human beings we spend so many times in the shadow? That's why we die.
Yeah.
If you don't come out your house and get sunlight, you will die.
Mm-hmm.
You need the sunlight. I don't know why for some reason along the lines of humanity, we done got so comfortable and so into luxury. You want to hide in your dark house. You want to stay in your cold AC. You want to hide in your car. You got to have tent on it.
Mm-hmm.
Sweating is good for the human glands to get the poison out, people.
Yes,
It's okay to sweat a little
Yeah, you
bit.
need to. It's a CO2 release. I'll tell you something I learned over this weekend, which was crazy, about darkness in particular. My girlfriend, Abati, she was telling us at this ceremony, we were talking about darkness retreats. Okay. So we were talking about darkness and how long people would go without, whatever. And she said, no, people can if with intention, not with I'm staying in, not getting sunshine, up in my thoughts all the time, spiraling down, but people can go into darkness retreats for days and days and days at a time for spiritual reasons. And it elevates stuff in the body and it puts them into this DMT state of awareness. But I mean, it's one of those things that you go into for 7, 8, 9 days. And there's doors on either side. Or I guess she was telling me that this guy that she knew did 28 days. And I was mind blown. I'm like, what the heck? And she's like, they feed them through this way and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
But that's
because inside of that darkness, I can say I experienced it. Unfortunately for me, I was incarcerated in the Richmond City Jail. Had to protect myself, so I ended up in the hole.
Mm-hmm.
And the only I could see was when it went from light to dark. But in that darkness, I got a real realization of me putting myself in this situation.
Mm.
But instead of looking at it as a punishment or an imprisonment, it was a time out in space for me to lock in and focus to see what's next for my life.
Right. Perfect.
You can continue down this path
Perfect.
of reckless behavior and not current, or quote unquote, as they say in today's time, crashing out.
Right.
That was crashing out before crashing out.
I just learned crashing out yesterday.
So, but it's consequences to it. And in those environments, you're encountering grown men who cry and whine and want to blame everybody else, or say things like, "Oh, I just want to be home with my kids." Well, you wouldn't think about them kids when you were out there with them, because your behaviors were everything to come in here. So in that dark space, I had time to focus just on me. You put you here. It's time to sit down and accept this.
Yeah.
It's time to stop acting like a little spoiled little kid, blame everybody else.
What do you do now?
Now, what do I do
You are
myself?
thrown upon yourself.
Right.
Right. And suddenly that reframes the experience of going to jail.
Yep.
And you don't have to carry a negative thing about jail. You can be like, yo,
Yeah.
that woke me the fuck up.
Yep, I went to a retreat, went into the darkness and whatnot.
Right. Exactly.
Absolutely. I mean, just like my cousin here, Al B, father, soon to be husband, didn't mean doing it. You know what I mean? That's a lot for a man to carry on his shoulders.
Mm-hmm.
He said soon to be husband.
Yeah, I'm gonna put that on you. He's I'm done with
Yeah, I
that.
don't need that. I don't need no piece of paper to tell him.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And see, that's what's unique about our show. Where we are similar, we are different. And we respect those boundaries.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Indeed. That's
married one time and got divorced and good.
See? He's speaking. And see, me, I've only been married once and we still rocking. And I was a person that I never thought I was going to get married, neither my wife. She said she wasn't getting married. I was done. I had been burned 3 times. Because when I go in with a person, I go in all the way. I'm head in. As long as I know there's water in the pool, I'm swimming in the deep end because I can swim.
Yeah, you ready?
Yeah, I know when I feel like I'm drowning, how to get out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you're not going to drown me.
Right.
No, not at all.
This is a
Because
individual.
your life is your life. I said something one day to my daughter, and she thought about it. She was like, man, I can't argue with you. I said, children all the time say, I didn't ask to be here. But I always counter with, but you work hard to get here. And they're like, what do you mean? I said, when a man impregnates a woman, 1 million sperm cells are released. So you fought. The rest of those sperm cells to get here.
Yeah.
So you worked hard to get here.
Mm-hmm.
So don't act like it was effortless. Because you fought to get here.
That's a great point.
So you better do something with this, because there was a whole bunch of other different sperm cells that could be here right now.
Don't blame me.
Yeah, don't
okay.
You fought to be here now.
This is on you.
Yeah. Your journey
Throw
started
them upon
there.
themselves. Throw them
Now,
upon themselves.
Now, we don't know the certain circumstances of how you was created, but the fact remains you fought to be here. So we're going to go with that.
Amen. That's amazing.
Yeah. Like I told him, I watched a video and the guy said, sometimes you just need to change your terminology. And what he was speaking to was, people said, I got to go to work.
No.
He said, you need to change that got to get.
I get to go to work.
See, you making it a punishment when it's an opportunity.
Right.
You have an opportunity
reframe.
to take care of the family you love.
Mm-hmm.
You have an opportunity to provide a life that makes you comfortable.
Yeah.
So stop saying you get like it's a punishment, because nobody's making you go. You can absolutely not go, not do nothing, lose everything, and be on the street.
Mm-hmm.
And I truly still say this to people. The freest people in our society are the homeless people. They have nowhere they have to be. They have no materialistic things they have to worry about losing. They are truly free, but at what cost? See, in our society, we want the glitz, the glamours, the rewards, but we don't want to put in the work. Because there's always that illusion. You can scheme, you can scam, you can steal and manipulate to get what you want. But it would never last. Every person I've ever encountered who has ill intentions, wish bad on people, rejoicing people downfall, it always ends badly for
It's
them.
negative energy.
Because you're investing negative energy, and the universe is a sphere. It's going to come back around.
It's going to magnetize. Your negativity will magnetize more negativity and amplify more negativity. It's a law of it's a law of science. Period. End of story. You choose to be positive. Well, positive things start happening.
And nobody wants to be around a negative Nancy.
No. Oh,
That's why you don't get invited.
Right.
People be like, I don't get invited to nothing, because you're going to ruin the whole experience. So now they just got wiser and they just don't invite you. We don't even have to tolerate you anymore.
To be fair, nobody invites me to anything either.
But you're on a whole different path. You're on a healing path.
Don't invite me. Don't invite Sansa. She'll say no.
You're in and out of the country. You're
You're a
working.
seed stealer.
Yeah.
Why people don't.
Now they just not confident in their energy. That's all.
Yeah. Oh, somebody did tell me this.
Because big energy people welcome me.
Yeah.
I have more energy in the room. I
She
love
was
it.
a seed stealer.
Yeah.
This is I was having a conversation with a fine gentleman a couple of days ago, and he said to me, we had this like brilliant conversation, right? I was so thankful to have the space to do this. And afterward, he goes, you're intimidating, right? And I was like, what? And he said, you're an intimidating presence, right? He's like, some people are going to
Powerful, yes.
Some,
but intimidating.
right. He said some people are going to be intimidated by your presence. Some people, women for this reason, men for this reason. And he was going into this whole thing. And I was
Well,
like,
women judge other women, so that's a whole different conversation.
Not all women. Not all women.
Not all women,
Yeah.
but the majority. I see, by me being a man and I watch people, I hear the side conversations.
Yeah.
See, I hear the fake kikis and hey girl, and then Girl, why she wear that dress up there?
Yeah.
You're intimidated because you lack the confidence and it wouldn't look right on you.
Yeah.
So let's go back to the beginning.
Yeah.
If you can't say anything positive, just keep your mouth shut. Thank you.
And go back to your work, you know,
Yeah.
because if you can't say anything positive, you can't see that somebody's just radiating positivity,
Right.
and that's reflecting negativity. And you, if you see
And
something
they don't know
positive,
your journey.
yeah, and the thing is,
You
like,
could be a person that dropped a extreme amount of weight.
right,
And this is your revenge body.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
live your life.
yeah, yeah, and you can take the activation of whatever it is, one way or the other. So somebody can see somebody that they perceive or they judge, right?
Right.
Because they judge
That's what they're doing. They're judging.
as something more than them, right?
Right.
As them less than, right? And they can take that and they can look at it and they can say, I hate her for that, which
Right.
actually turns into I hate me
Right.
for not being that.
And blocking your own blessing and
Right.
opportunity.
Or you can look at the situation and say, fuck yeah, you've got that. And I have that too because I fucking saw it. We cannot see what we aren't. So we
Right.
see what we are. We see what we need. We see. That's what our eyes are for. They're here to like look and to perceive and to give us information. And so when we see somebody, you know that your vibration changes when suddenly you're only magnetizing people who have conscious relationships with you, conversations, who really want to be authentic, who don't give a fuck about XYZ story. They
Right.
care about what the fuck is going on right now.
Absolutely.
Who the fuck are
Because we
you?
live in the present.
Right, right. And how can I support you? That's all it is. I was with a marketing guy the other day, and he was like, he said, you know, why should we meet? Why should we da 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 da? And I was trying to think, what is the best answer to say to somebody in that moment, to a marketing person? I'm trying to say, like, I've got something here, and I need you to look at it, you know, or whatever. And I played with this, and I came up with the if you're really assured in what you are, which like you know you are, right? And you were to go to a marketer and say, you know, hey, I'm worth $1 billion, right? They might look at you like, the fuck are you talking about, right? But if you take all that you know about you and your integrity and your truth, and you show up to that meeting, and they say, what the fuck is this about? And you say, how can I support you? What magic inside of me will make you really fucking rich? Or whatever the fuck you want, famous or whatever, you know what I'm saying? You feel me?
Mhm.
Like how can I show up to actually support what you're doing? You're a marketing person, fantastic, all right? So what do you like? And then you go into, you pick out the pieces of you that match those pieces and you say,
Right.
well, this is what I've been working on. This is the mastery I have in that space, right? You want this apple? Here, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then
Absolutely.
right. I have this, this might be going back to the other subject, but this game that I play called Compliment to Claim.
Okay.
And I try to play games in public when I'm in public because it's hard to be in public, you know what I mean? But I like to play games to kind of get through. And one of the games is the Compliment to Claim game. And it's where you walk around wherever you are, doing whatever you're doing consciously, and you look at things and people and circumstances, attitudes, whatever it is that you're magnetized toward naturally, whatever you're seeing, and ask yourself, is that a trait that I want to claim for myself? Or is that, am I judging somebody? What am I doing? How am I perceiving these people? And I like to go in and play the compliment game where every single person I see, they have something that they can teach me or that I can put into this new sphere that I'm building for myself, whatever. And so the game is to just see it and claim it. Just, oh, I see that person's got mad ass style. I want more of that. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Whatever. Maybe you pass that compliment on to that person if you get an opportunity, like, that's cool, they buzz, it's amazing, it's a whole thing, right? But at the very least, you've said, I want that trait, you know? She was so compassionate. Did you see how she dealt with those children? I need more of that. I want that.
Absolutely.
How patient that person was or whatever, you know what I mean? Just compliment, claim, you're seeing it and claiming it for yourself.
Absolutely. Well, me and you, we've been locked in for a minute. Albie, is there anything that you want to ask Stanza while we got her here in the studio?
Nah, you covered everything. I was listening.
Yeah.
Thank you for listening, Albie.
Yeah. He is a man about time. Albie got the connections, man. But he out here. He dealing with, I mean, like, I sat back and watched him with Riff. And how he was handling everything and showing up and doing what needed to be done. I mean, even to the point of taking control of a room. people look at these small skill sets as if they're normal. They're not. It's hard to command a room.
Yeah.
And to be the guy behind the curtain and get in the events. Like we had one beautiful night. Remember Cuz on top of New York Deli? Well, all of the artists playing music and their stories behind their music.
Yeah.
Oh man, it was amazing. But you have to get out of your head and step into culture.
Mhm.
The world is out here for you to experience.
Yes.
And I promise you, it's a whole group of people out here who just been waiting for you, but you got to show up
Yeah.
and come with positive energy.
Indeed.
And that's what the
And you're
world
ready,
needs.
ready,
Here.
ready to play,
Yeah.
ready to receive, ready to
Absolutely.
learn. ready
And
to
that's
grow.
that's the big part. Keep an open mind.
Yeah.
You don't know everything.
No.
And it's a conversation.
Yes.
Which means it can't just be you talking.
Right.
You have to be able to listen sometimes too.
You gotta be able to listen.
Yeah.
I did the ABCs of listening in the ashram. We'll talk about that one day. It's
Yeah.
really fun. Really fun.
See what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, for all y'all listening out there, look, man, we just wanted to shed light on mental health because that is a big thing out here. And you know, some people out here are profiting off of it. They've made it into a business. They're not even trying to help you for real. They're just trying to feed you pharmaceuticals.
Yeah.
You know, and it's just bringing on other psychosis, psychotic behavior.
Yeah.
That's why you have these people. Like prime example, they just had a military vet. He was trying to get help. They wouldn't give him help. He went to the house and killed his children. I mean, how many? We're supposedly in the land of the free, right?
Mm-hmm.
The land of the brave, right?
Yeah.
So why are we not taking care of our citizens?
Right.
Well, we quickly go run off around the world to go try to fix everybody else's problem, but we have yet to fix the inner core of America. We understand that this is a melting pot. We understand we're the youngest nation. We understand that this was an idea. We get it.
Mm-hmm.
But at this point in human nature, we should have evolved to the point where we got fail-safes in place, where we're having these conversations.
Mm-hmm.
It's time to stop whispering.
Yes.
It's time to stop saying little Johnny in the corner crazy. We know he got mental problems. Let's get him some help
Yes. Yes.
before he be the next school shooter.
Yep.
Because I still want to understand how mental health wellness not putting a budget for people that do what you do to come in to talk to the children was not on the table.
Yeah.
Instead of give the teachers guns.
Right.
Because in my experience from teachers, when I came up, they were allowed to beat us. And some of the teachers went too far. We had a teacher that beat a boy with a 2x4. She was that fed up with children. She busted him in his head with a 2x4.
Good Lord.
So imagine giving that said teacher a gun
Right. No.
in a stressed out environment where the kids are now more intelligent. They have access to information. They debate you everything. They think they know everything. So you can have an opinion without responsibility
Right.
because you don't understand consequence yet.
Mm-hmm.
I can be liberal because I don't know what being liberal costs. I can be capitalist because I don't know what it costs. So right now it's just my free opinion with no consequence. And with small amounts of information. That's what this world has been evolving on. Bad information or not enough information. And people are making life decisions
Yes.
on poor information.
Yes. On not educating themselves.
And the media is fear driven and drama driven. And it has become a cancer because what's more addictive now than entertainment? Matt, me and you were just having a conversation. I knew the world changed for me with MTV, music, TV, and video. That's what MTV is. And they started promoting 16 and pregnant. And then we started having a rise in teenage mothers. And then social media started celebrating. So now you got your 16-year-old that's worrying more about being a mother than being a student, than being a graduate, than becoming a wife. Because she lives in a world where she's not getting love, and she thinks having this kid is going to be something that's going to love you. Well, guess what? When you have that kid, they're going to be a reflection of you.
He speaks truth. I was a 16-year-old mom.
And they're going to take you through all the worst parts of you.
Yeah. And the best parts.
Yes.
And the best parts.
And the best parts.
And
But you got to do the work.
Yeah.
And that goes for dads and moms. That's all.
That's all.
That's all. We're just trying to help those who want the help.
Yeah.
That's why when you see me out and about, you see me on my job, and I got this smile on my face like my name is Ted DiBiase, the $1 Million Man. This is why I'm so happy. See, instead of me being selfish and keeping Sansa to myself, I figured, why not bring her and share her with the world? So maybe that y'all can understand why I'm so at peace. Yes, my wife gives me plenty of joy, and my life would not be the same without her. But for that one space in my life that I needed to figure out for myself, I had some help people, and her name was Santa. So that's how all this came about. And being a vet, it really helped. The trauma of all the things I've been through in my life, man, it's a miracle that I'm in my right mind. But I am thankful that I am, and that I still have kindness. Because trust, know, and believe, as I sit on this station, the world has beat me up, stepped on me, defamed my name. I mean, all kinds of things. I've even looked out for people who cursed my own name, spread lies about me. But when they needed that last meal that would help them survive to the next day, I was the helping hand. Now, they're not going to tell you that. You know, because that takes humility.
You understand humanity.
Yes.
You know?
It's crazy. When I worked at Calvert Ale House, a man walked past me with a bicycle. And this is like 5 in the morning because we had to get there early. And I just spoke to him. Good morning. How you doing today? My chef walked up, and the man turned around with his bike. He said, I just came back to say thank you, not to ask you for any money. He said, it's been 2 years that I've been homeless in this place because of the medical bills from his wife being sick. He was like, and I won't leave her. So we're homeless together. He said, for 2 years, people have treated me less than a human being. You're the very first human being to look me in my face with respect and treat me like a human being. And I say, you know, us as a people, we are doing an awful job. You got people that will walk up and speak to your dog before they will speak to the human. You got people that will walk over a human being dying to help the dog. Like, that, it is so mind-blowing that this is what we call a normal construct of this world. But I've always been against the system. My cousin can tell you, I'm always a naysayer. I'm always going to go against the grain. Because if it's not right, how can I oblige to it? I don't care if the whole world is screaming. If it's wrong, I'm going to say it's wrong.
Yes, because you're in your truth.
Yes.
You obviously value integrity.
Yes, and taking care of other humans.
Yes, humanity.
That's it.
And your throat chakra nice and cleared there. I see it.
Yes, absolutely. You know, so, you know, and a world full of misinformation and fear-based agendas.
Yes.
I don't get caught up into that.
That's right.
Because my journey is the same every day. To present the best version of myself to this great, big, beautiful world.
Yeah, absolutely.
And receive all of the blessings that shall come back in.
Blessed be the abundance. Indeed.
Absolutely.
Indeed.
Hey, look, man, the price of being a good person is priceless. It's priceless.
Yeah.
And I don't like to toot my own horn. I don't make a lot of personal posts about myself. Because you have to protect your loved ones.
Yeah.
We live in a world with a lot of mentally ill people. People who just don't like happy people.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to stop being happy.
No, that's their world.
I'm going to bathe in the abundance of it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because I feel good in that space.
Yeah, well, and then you show them, hey, there's I'm unbothered by you not liking my happiness. It's just okay. Go be miserable elsewhere.
Yes.
I'm going to stay in this vibration.
And enjoy the life, this gift that we've been given.
Yes.
It is now 8:51. Cuz, you want to run another commercial right quick?
No, we're about to close out.
Okay.
Real quick, tell everybody where they can find you at.
Yeah. Check me out at on Instagram at I am Sansa Love, and then online at iamsansa.com. IAMSANSA.com. All right. Thank you. Yeah, that's that, right? That's
Yes.
it? Yeah. Anything else I should say?
No.
Oh, all right. Max, this is Max.
Yes.
He's wonderful. Thank you, Max.
You're welcome. I think
Hey.
you did a fantastic job.
Oh, thank you, Max. I appreciate that.
Yes, you did. And I wish I knew you would, because you're going to be authentically yourself.
Yeah.
That's what this show is.
Yeah.
We only bring authentic people up here.
That's
No
how I want to
characters,
vibe, bro.
yeah.
That's all, the only people I really want supporting this mission are
Yeah.
authentic people.
Yeah, if
know
you
what I'm
running
saying?
off a script, it's not the show
No,
for you.
no.
Okay, we not with none of that.
No.
It's enough propaganda and misinformation out here. People misrepresenting themselves. Then we got to go, see, like now we got to go all the way back and go through a trial. And they got, man, nobody got time for all of that.
I'll tell you one
Just
thing.
be who you are.
I'll tell you
man.
one thing, Alvin, just as we close up.
Mhm.
One of the things I was in Hawaii doing was creating this project called the Authentic Healing Project.
Right.
Right. Yeah. And this is the big thing that I'm putting out to the world with all of the yoga that we've been practicing, with all the modalities we've been practicing. I've bundled it into a package so I can teach people how to do it. I can teach people the sense of it, the senses of it, right? And I can do it with other empowered, amazing people. And it's really about authenticity, and it's about getting into these spaces and concentrated spaces. And we've created, me and a few amazing people, Melissa Delp, I love you so much, that we've created these programs that we can take in 4 different places in the world, so people can go and they can immerse in their healing, and they can be supported, and they can really feel what it's like to feel what you're feeling, and then we teach them how to go back into your life, and here's some tools, and let's do this, and I stay in touch, and we do these things together, because we build a stronger community of people this way, once everybody knows how to heal, we can all support each other, and we can all borrow each other's tools.
Because it takes a community.
Yes, and it doesn't have to be hierarchy. It doesn't have to be competition. It doesn't have to be, just like you and I always say. It's just about showing the fuck up and be like, yo, you're my brother. Right? You're like my brother, bro. And this is...
Because we're all part of the human race.
Yes, we're all just humans.
Just human beings.
Humans.
Living our journey.
Right. So there is more about the Authentic Healing Project that's going to be going up.
Okay.
And we'll be shouting out for donations on that. And that's all on the Instagram. You guys can check that out. There's a GoFundMe that's up that explains a lot of what I've put together. And there's backstories and stuff on the website, as far as there's some blog posts that I've started, and I'm an avid writer, so lots of the stuff is just going out. And if you guys have requests on things you want me to write about, let me know, because I have requests. I'm doing things, and I've just really started to settle down into starting to market this project. So thank you for letting me speak about it.
Yes,
it is valuable. It is huge, and I'm really proud of it. It is a culmination of all of the work that I've done to better myself and to give my story as far as healing to lots of other people. And that's what I'm here to do. As anybody that hears my voice that wants healing, you can come here. And I am authentic in that, and I promise I will be here.
Thank you so much for blessing us with your gifts and your talents.
Amen. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
And to all of those that's listening out here, this has been another great episode of Born Hustler Radio. I'm O-Loves.
I'm Al B. I'll see y'all next week.
And we got...
I am Sansa.
And...
Max.
Hey,
See y'all next week.
See y'all next week.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.